Do I eat cake for breakfast? Well, when I'm on holiday, I do, and on a recent trip to Turkey along the Aegean coast, at the end of breakfast, I would treat myself to a slice of this beautiful walnut sponge cake, and I would dollop a bit of Kaymak, creamy rich Kaymak, and quince preserves beside it. And that was my special treat with my final cup of tea. And now that I'm home, well, I'm craving walnut cake. Maybe not for breakfast, but this is the recipe that I want to share with you today. And I've figured out a recipe that includes beautiful Turkish ingredients you see regularly in their cuisine. Walnuts figure so prominently in savory and sweet dishes. And that's what's at the heart of this sponge cake recipe. So what I want to do is grind up my walnut halves. And to keep them from turning into a paste, I will add my flour at the same time. So that just goes into a mini chopper. You could use a food processor if you want. I will add just a touch of baking powder. And I found cinnamon figured in a lot of Turkish desserts, but not big, bold apple crisp cinnamon flavor, a subtle addition. So just half a teaspoon goes in to flavor this entire cake, just to give it that hint of spice. Now I'll pulse this to grind it up finely. Here we go. I'll just set that aside because now it's time to make the sponge. Next step, the sponge. I take 3 whole eggs, and what I like to do is make sure the eggs are at room temperature. They'll whip up to a higher volume that way. If you store your eggs in the fridge and you need to warm them up, what you can do is immerse them in a bowl full of hot tap water for 2 to 3 minutes and they'll warm right up. I'm using brown sugar instead of white sugar in this sponge because I find the caramel notes in the brown sugar really complement that walnut flavor in this cake. And let's be honest, I don't eat it for breakfast. I eat it for dessert now that I'm home. Citrus flavors are so important in Turkish cuisine, and so I'm adding the zest of an orange into this recipe. Now this is a very large orange. I call for the zest of a medium orange. Really, I'm looking for about 2 teaspoons of orange zest. Now I'll whip this up on high speed until it doubles in volume and it turns light and pale, pretty much the color of tahini. I love the volume you get when you make a sponge cake. Oh, it looks gorgeous. I like adding the orange zest early on when the eggs and sugar are whipping because that way it draws out the oils from the orange zest. It works in to the cake more evenly. That way the aroma and the flavor permeate every single bite. Now I'm going to add a bit of plain yogurt. It can be regular or thickened. And I just whisk that in quickly. And when you have whipped whole eggs with sugar, they're not as fragile as whipped egg whites. It's not like folding a meringue and you have to be so delicate. This is going to hold its volume. I'll add my walnut flour mixture all at once. And I'll use my whip just to fold it in quickly. You will find this sponge batter is very fluid, so it pours easily into your pan. This is a 9-inch pan. I greased it lightly. I put a piece of parchment at the bottom, and then I dusted the sides with flour. You don't worry about dusting the bottom. That way the sponge cake can climb without slipping down the side, so you have a nice, perfectly level cake. This is ready for the oven. The cake's ready to bake. I've preheated my oven to 350, and it takes about 30 minutes to bake. Now, unlike a conventional cake, a butter-based cake, you check the doneness of a sponge cake by simply pressing the top. When it springs back easily, then you know it's done. Preheated 350, oven. I find sponge cakes are very fragile right out of the oven, so I cool them completely in their pan. Now it's time to run a little palette knife around the inside, but it should loosen easily. And then tip it out. And there we go. It looks beautiful. I love a simple cake like this. That combination of the walnuts, the brown sugar, and the orange when this cake was baking made the whole kitchen smell divine. Most of this icing sugar is meant for the cake, right on top. Because of the yogurt in the cake, I find that it's wonderfully moist, not at all crumbly, but most importantly, it stays fresh on the counter for days. The yogurt's cooked, so you don't have to worry about refrigerating the cake, although a cake like this would freeze wonderfully. Look at that beautiful walnut tone to the cake, and I can smell the orange even when I cut a slice of it. Although this cake is delicious on its own, to serve it with a dollop of creme fraiche or Kaymak, if you can get it, that thick Turkish clotted cream, oh, how decadent. And you don't even have to sweeten it. It is just so naturally sweet. And a bit of fruit preserves. I noticed that jams and preserves are very important in Turkish cuisine. I enjoyed quince preserves while I was there, but I have some apricot preserves that I recently made. And those will do just fine. Oh, absolutely divine. I know you as bakers appreciate a well-made cake, and a sponge cake like this isn't just all about the air. Between the yogurt and the orange zest, the hint of cinnamon, and the brown sugar, and of course the walnuts, oh, what a treat. The cinnamon and orange come through together, but not in a heavy autumn or wintry way. Really, the walnuts are what elevate this cake, and they grind so finely. Thank you for joining me, and I really do hope you make this recipe. It is a keeper, and I'll see you again soon for another delicious treat from around the world.